Hey, what's going on, guys? Once again, it is me, myself, whatever, Jet Groove, talking again about Doctor Who. This time we're on episode 7. Can you hear me? So, you know what's funny about this? It feels like a Neil Gaiman episode, to be honest with you. It has that really weird Neil Gaiman-esque feel to it. I don't know if any of y'all had that same vibe, but I did. But it doesn't matter. So, before I get into this episode in full, remember, these do have spoilers, spoiler-filled to a bizarre, brim, overflowing thing, because I'm going to talk about the episode as a whole, synopsis, and I'm going to tell you what I didn't like and what I did like about it. So, get ready for that. You've been warned. Trigger-ish. Yeah, that didn't go over too well in my head either. I'm sorry for that. So, the episode itself is not that complicated. It's actually pretty simple. We've actually seen this kind of thing happen before. We have where the Doctor is being confronted by something that is not of this world, so to speak. These times they're immortals. If you at all familiar with some of the novelizations or any of the past radio dramas, they reached about the immortals before, like the Toymaker was also in the classic Who type thing. They brought those kind of back for this episode. I say kind of because they're considered immortals, but they have more weaknesses than strengths, and I think it is what it is, whatever. So we start off with the Doctor taking her fam home, and they go do their things and stuff, talk to their friends, and so I'm going to touch on it again in a second because it's kind of funny. They go talk to their fams and everything else and play cards and catch up with friends and, the thing you do. Well, the Doctor gets kind of called out into something. So there's this weird little black spectral thing. It's one of the immortals, and it's going around messing with people, so to speak, playing nightmares in their head. That's the whole thing. And the Doctor gets called back to the past, and I think in Aleppo, I think in the 1400s, 1300s, I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you remember what century it was. You're going to argue anyway. Do it. I dare you. This would be kind of funny. So, anyway, there's this evil creature. Now, I'm going to preface this in the beginning of it, and I kind of threw this in later on for a reason, because I don't think it made sense to put it at the front. But there's this creature going around hunting down these people in Aleppo during this time period. Some weird thing. It was kind of like a Balverine, if you're familiar with Fable. It's kind of like big and ugly, has a huge snout and the teeth, whatever. So it's trying to snatch folks away and, I don't know, keep them like toys or trophies. Or it doesn't matter, because we'll get to that why it doesn't later on. See how I keep getting ahead of myself? That's what you come here for. You lucky bastards. Anyway, so the Doctor's trying to figure out what it is, but the sonic screwdriver can't identify it. It has no presence. It doesn't exist for some reason. Even though the Doctor can find 2 strands of the hair somewhere, the TARDIS can't figure it out. Like, it does not exist. Which, if you've already watched from the episode, like, you're following along, and as you all should, because this is not a complicated, deep episode, because it's pretty woke. And I'll get to an issue I have with that in a moment, but not right now. So, they find out that it doesn't exist, and it's kind of obvious it's one of the little dream things that's been going around, the nightmare-ish. Who it belongs to is also kind of obvious. It's the same little girl, or I say little girl, the young lady that the Doctor runs into in Aleppo. So, bam, bam, boom, whatever. They reach the Immortals' little spaceship, and there's this cool little Saiyan pod thing in between 2 planets that are trying to collide into each other. The Doctor's like, well, that's not right, and decides to, in a way, reroute what's going on to free the creature inside. Because what pushed this, Graham had a dream about this young lady was kind of like Storm, that she wanted to be free. She's in prison and she's in pain. He's like, oh, we got to save her. And the Doctor's like, all right, fam. And they do that. Bad idea. Big mistake. So the Immortal was playing her for sap. And she frees the other Immortal, and then we get this weird little TED Talk animation about their origin story and the people that were on these 2 planets that these 2 Immortals kind of were lords over, gods over, and they used to enjoy watching people kill each other because they're sadistic, and their fear and hatred feeds them. Their hate sustains. Anyway, so they want to go to Earth and feed off more fear and anger and anguish and all other stuff. And if you have any kind of decent mindset, you know why this idea will not work, and it's a pretty terrible idea. But I digress. And they're not like they're the first ones to try this anyway, because there's an episode back in Matt Smith's era with the hotel. I really can't remember the name of the episode. But there was a monster going around feeding off the same fears. The doctor's fears, Amy's fears, all of them. And I really can't even remember now how they got out of that one. That's so weird. And maybe because the episode was just boring. I really can't remember. That was your favorite episode. You pathetic thing you are. Anyway, so moving right down the line, the doctor finds a way to control so one of the immortals can dislocate his digits, his little fingers or whatever, and they go around and they get into your ear and then they feed junk and then they remove the junk and then they download so they can feed off of it, like psychic vampires, really. Which I didn't think about till just now. Maybe they're like the vampires. No, they call them immortals. The vampires weren't immortals. They're like the Time Lord's first enemy before the Daleks, way before, and it doesn't matter anymore, whatever. So, yeah, as I was saying, the doctor finds out how to control the little fingers that he left behind, like little chargers, because it is most definitely, it's a thing he's used as an immortal, but it's still bio. So I guess the sonic screwdriver can do Ex Machina that and just control it because vibrations, whatever. And then the doctor realized a while back that the monster was the girl from Aleppo's creation. It was her nightmare. That's why I wouldn't kill her. And if you figure that out before the doctor did, congratulations, you're like about 95% of the rest of us because it was kind of obvious. Anyway, so she used the monster like a summon, almost like in Final Fantasy, to get in the immortal's face, and the doctor gets her friend, who I didn't mention because she didn't really have a real plot point besides telling the girl to stop stealing, and the doctor's fam, as she puts the fingers into the immortal's ears, which, whatever, convenience, it works, and the monster goes to attack them. They find out their fears, and the doctor pulls the Ghostbusters and slaps the immortals into the orb thing and then locks them away. We don't see her lock them away, but it's implied that's what she said she was going to do. And then we have all the characters, in essence, coping after the event and such. Thankfully, there was no on-the-nose hit on this one about clean up the environment or don't destroy the trees or something like that, whatever. But there is an overwhelming theme this episode like the rest of them. It's about disorders, personality disorders, mental issues, some depression, to, I'm not going to say mania, but to anxiety, stuff like that. Things that really do affect a lot of us, especially in the year 2020. I mean, because, stuff sometimes really sucks, sometimes more than it should. And technology is moving faster than us, but I digress, and I'm ranting or rambling. Whatever. Anyway, this is one of the things about the episode I didn't really like, and I'm going to tell you why. Not because of the theme itself. It is important to approach this topic. I just wish this season would stop being so on the nose with the messages. Like, it's trying too hard to be woke. I'm really kind of annoyed. The writing is not subtle. It's so direct, so overt and in your face, and it really rubs me wrong. Like, and I know people are like, oh, you think people with disabilities and hurt. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not being hateful or deceitful or racist. No, it's the fact that it's too there. You know what I mean? Like, it is insulting. It's acting as if I can't tell what's going on. The story in itself has already been done, which, I mean, it's fair. The show's been on since the 60s. But it's not giving the story more of a front, and it's not using either tropes we already known. It's not using history we already heard. It goes into old history from the old canon, and it throws into some new nonsense. And why I say new nonsense. Okay, so the Doctor, for some reason, people and creatures keep getting on the TARDIS. I don't know why that keeps happening, because it shouldn't be. The TARDIS is like this really powerful locked chamber thing that stuff can't get in. That's the whole purpose of it. That's why they can hide in the TARDIS. Even if the world or the universe goes out, the TARDIS will still be there. It's meant to. Like, that's the whole purpose of this box, period. And the travel in time and space, which is kind of the same thing and irrelevant. The big problem I'm having is why... Okay, so, and everybody knows if you've seen the episode already, this is the part where the Doctor says something about being socially awkward, and it kind of leads to, like, the Doctor seeming kind of autistic maybe, or something on that level of the spectrum. Okay, let's get a few things straight. For one, the doctor's not a human being. So to diagnose the doctor with a human-related issue is nonsense and garbage. Don't do it and never do it again. Don't ever do it, as a matter of fact. I only see a doctor even get a cold. That's not a thing. This creature has two hearts and a large medulla and cerebellum. It dies, comes back through regeneration, complete new cells, complete new brain, everything. And mind, like a cage, can remember all of its previous lives, actual actions and events. It makes no sense for her to even. Now I get the idea that doctors regenerated, and maybe this is part of the personality because she can be anything as far as personality is concerned. But this is incorrect. Don't do this. And then, even worse, Graham comes out to the doctor about being afraid of his cancer coming back. There was an episode where the doctor literally cured someone's cancer with the red vial. He said it was cherry flavour. It was during Matt Smith's time. Why can you not help Graham? Why? You even have nano. These things upset me. They do. But yeah. But I didn't entirely hate the episode. I did actually like that nonsense with with Order 55. That episode makes my back ache. The monsters actually didn't look that bad. The weird ball frame looking creature was kind of cool looking, honestly. That was actually pretty good graphics, and it was all CG, but it looked good. The spaceship interior, kind of boring, but it actually did feel kind of nice. Had a Tron feel to it. I like that. That was pretty neat. Thought that was pretty dope. I do like how they went more into the fam, the companions, this time around, as far as explaining their reasons, their motifs, and it also is giving that weight to, and this is just my prediction, on why they'll leave the Doctor later on anyway, because they have to eventually. No companions with the Doctor forever, no matter how much they may want to, or you may think they will, and it goes into their fears of being alone, of everything around them being destroyed, not being there, not being able to help, or, despair, loss, and that kind of thing. And I think that was pretty neat because the characters themselves, and they got some more stuff to do, especially Yaz. Yaz is getting more development as the show's going on. I can appreciate that. Graham is funny. I like Graham. I think out of all of them right now, he's like my favorite character. For real. Graham just, just goofy. Watch the episode, you'll see. And I think the ones getting the least amount of development is probably Ryan. And that it's not really entirely his fault because it's a writing thing, but they just kind of treat him like he's just there. He's just like furniture. I don't know. But yeah, they are getting they're getting better at developing them. They're no longer pieces of paper. Now they're a piece of paper with drawings on them at the very least. And I think that's cool. I think that's fine. That's fair. Do that. And if you have to come up with some extreme, weird, crazy way to do it, I guess, because you don't know how to write real characters, Chibnall, and I'm calling you out on that one. Come on, dude, get better, for real. Glow up something. But anyway, so far in the series, the only episode I'm really seem to truly like is when they had the Ruth Doctor so far, because it felt like a real Doctor episode. These other ones are just. And Skyfall was kind of, is it called Skyfall? The first episode of the series, I'm sure it was called Skyfall. Those two were really cool. Part 1 and 2, another thing. But I didn't hate it. Before anybody, I didn't hate this episode. I didn't absolutely hate it. I just hated how, my biggest gripe is how they made the Doctor. That is my biggest problem. Stop making her so inept. Stop making her so slow. Stop making her unable to cope with anything. Flight mind is one thing, but she easily forgets. Matt Smith was just general all over the place. He was not this inept at all. And when times got rough situation-wise, he did it. More importantly, the Doctor has been known to do things that you just don't understand, but they show his process of doing it. This Doctor just kind of just does it. It's duets mocking, I figured it out off screen. Yeah. No, we want to see the cool bad guys. They look neat, right? Look at them standing together, looking like Storm and Magneto. But no, it's just that's man. I just treat the Doctor with respect. Come on now, this is 1963. Come on. That's all I'm asking. Just be kind. Rewind. Try this shit again. That's it. That's all I want. Well, anyway, that's this episode. I griped. I applauded. a little, but at least no 55, so that's a good thing. And it's not Praxeus. I like saying it because it makes Maria itch. You saw that video? I saw it. I giggled. Anyway, thank you for watching Approach Nerd. Once again, I am Jet Groove. You can always see me whenever you want. Just make sure you subscribe, like the video, or you can dislike it. I'll make it on your nerves. Good, you do that. But anyway, like, subscribe, bell notification at the bottom of the screen so you can get all kinds of updates whenever we come back. And then, of course, I'm going to go off the screen, and then Maria's going to tell you more stuff about the videos and her channel. And yeah, so that's it. I just want better Doctor Who episode. That's all I'm asking for. I don't know what the fuck. Whatever.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.